Hello again. I thought you might like to see one pot pasta. This is what I'm making for dinner tonight, and it is just so easy. I've got the ingredients here, and you're going to just need a small saucepan. This is enough for 2 people. So into my small saucepan I'm going to put a cup of Orzo. Orzo is a small pasta, and each of the pieces look a bit like rice. So if you don't want to use Orzo, you could use a small macaroni. You could break up spaghetti into small pieces, but make sure you know how long that takes to cook. My Orzo takes 15 minutes. So into my pan I put my Orzo, 150 grams if you haven't got a cup measure. To that I'm going to add about half a cup of frozen peas. Sit them all in. And I'm going to add a leek, which I have cut up. I've trimmed it and washed it, but they're not terribly dirty at the moment. So slices of leek go in there, and that really adds flavour. And then to that, I'm going to put in 500 mils, which is a pint, of chicken stock. And all we do is take that over to the cooker and bring it to the boil. Now, it takes 15 minutes start to finish, but after 10 minutes, I'm going to add some cooked chicken, give it another 5 minutes, and then I'll show you what I add at the end. All right, so let's go over to the cooker. So the stock is boiling again, it's come back to the boil. You do need to give it a stir from time to time because it has a tendency to stick. So what I'm going to do is put the lid on and set the timer for 10 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, I'm going to add, let me just get my, there we are. I'm going to add some cooked chicken. Now that can be from a carcass, you know, a chicken that you've roasted, or it can be from the aisle where you get the sandwich ham, that kind of stuff. I'll just turn this down to simmer for 10 minutes. So the chicken goes in after 10, and then I have another 5 of simmering. And at the very end, I'm going to stir in a little tiny pot of cream cheese. Just one of those little individual ones. Remember, this is just for 2 people, so you can double it if you want to. And then the parmesan and the pepper are simply to serve it with, so it doesn't need any salt, but use some pepper and a sprinkle of parmesan on the top. So we'll give this its 10 minutes and then I'll come back and add the chicken. Okay, the timer's gone off. I've taken the lid off and it does need a stir. Now keep an eye on it, because if your lid doesn't fit terribly well, it might get a bit dry. You don't want it to be soupy, but you don't want it to be so thick that it sticks badly. So I'm going to put the chicken in, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit of boiling water, probably about a dessert spoon. Give it a stir, get your chicken mixed in. Tiny bit more, so that's going to be 2 dessert spoons today. Okay, and then still simmering, lid back on, another 5 minutes. There we are. That's our extra 5 minutes, so we turn it off, and into it we now put one of these little pots of cream cheese. As much out as I can, and stir that through. That just makes it a bit creamier, and you can use the low fat one if you want to, or light, whatever they call it. And that basically is it, 1 pan pasta. So I'm going to share that between these 2 dishes that have been warming, and I'm just going to sprinkle some parmesan on the top and a good twist of black pepper. Alright, so that's it. Enjoy!